Hello YouTube. This video is uploaded just to give people an idea of what a Invidia R400 exhaust system sounds like in a 2015 plus WRX STI. So probably been 3 weeks since I changed my stock exhaust over to the R400. The Invidia R400. I was considering the Q300, decided to, after listening to some sound clips, go ahead with the R400. Fairly loud, louder than what I thought it would have been. I couldn't really find any videos from inside the passenger compartment of, there's one or two, but they weren't that great regarding the noise levels inside the cab with the R400, which is where you spend most of your time. So now that I've done the changeover, I thought I would upload a video just so that people get some idea if they're considering going an R400 or a Q300 Invidia system on their WRX STIs, what it sounds like from inside, because that's where you spend most of your time. It's just starting to rain now. I'll go for a short drive. I'll start up. Pretty well, it's fairly warm at the moment, so you'll hear it. It's a warm start. I've been driving around this morning, so here we go. So that's it, started up warm.
We're just going to the Coburn water slide.
I'll turn down the radio, and I will also flip around the screen, so you don't need to look at my the whole while I'm driving. So here we are back again. I've just turned around the video screen on the phone, and hopefully this will give you some idea of what the R400 sounds like from inside the cab. I won't go for a long drive, it's probably around about 10 minutes, just to give you that appreciation. So once I get onto this main road, it's a speed limit of 70 kilometers per hour. I'll then head up to the freeway, which is 100 kilometers per hour. Then I'll come back down another highway, which is 60 kilometers an hour, where there'll be lots of acceleration and deacceleration, a bit of traffic around, and hopefully that'll give you some idea of what you can expect from the R400 noise level inside the passenger compartment of this vehicle. It is loud. It's louder than what I was hoping for. I guess the Q300 would have done the job for me. I was tossing up between the R400 and the Q300, but after some deliberation and listening to sound clips, I decided to go the R400 route. Wouldn't say I regret it, but it is a lot louder than what I was hoping for, I guess. And I have a 3-year-old or 3.5-year-old daughter. She doesn't like driving in my car, she tells me anymore. It's too loud. She often puts her hands on her ears when we're in the car if I'm accelerating. She doesn't like loud noises though. So here we go, I'll just quieten up a bit. So that was just a pull from as you saw, from standstill to 60k an hour, ending up in 4th. Yeah, so my daughter, she's getting used to it. She will get used to it, but yeah, she's not keen on getting in my car for a drive as much as what she used to be since the exhaust system was changed over. But she also doesn't like loud noises. Doesn't like when I've got to drill something in a wall, or going to the a toilet and using a hand dryer. She also freaks out a bit with that sort of noise, so maybe it's just her. But yeah, this is again, I have noticed that for my daughter to be comfortable in the car, I tend to have to upshift a gear higher or 2 gears higher than what I might typically cruise at. So I might typically cruise at 70 kilometers an hour in 4th, 5th gear. It's quite quiet, the exhaust. 6th gear it just has a nice little purr. So when I've got the daughter in the car now, I tend to not shift as aggressively or accelerate as aggressively, and I'll also upshift a bit quicker than what I might usually shift, just so it's a little bit less obnoxious for her. $37 here yesterday, and sun shining and raining today. So I'm in Perth in Western Australia, coming into our summer. It's been really warm the last week. The car's been really going well. I've only done 2,000 kilometres in the car now, and the exhaust went on 500 kilometres ago, but the car's really going well. I'll try not to talk throughout so you can actually hear the exhaust and what it's like. I'll just let you know what gear I'm in, what sort of rev range I'm changing through, to give you an idea of the exhaust, as to how aggressively or how much accelerator input you put in or don't put in. The windows are up in the car. Go windows down. Okay, so driver's side windows down now. Okay, so that little pull there was just first, second and third, changing it around about the 4,500 to 5,500 RPM through the gears to third, to take me up to the speed limit, which at the time was 70, and now I'm just putting along in fourth. It's currently 65 kilometers per hour. Off the throttle, changing down to third. And just back into neutral while I'm waiting for this traffic to clear. Meters ahead, there's a freeway on-ramp, so I'm going to get caught at these lights, and that'll point me north, going towards the city in Perth. It'll get us up to 100 kilometers per hour, which is our maximum speed limit on the freeway, that section of the freeway, and I'll be just upshifting up to 6th gear, so you've got an idea of what it sounds like. Freeway, highway, cruise, 100 kilometers an hour, top gear. the driver's seat. Sounds like doing 9,700 kilometers per hour in 5th gear. Now doing 80 in 5th, just to let that car in front merge in. And I'll go up to 6th now gear, so 6th gear now. And currently 87 just with the flow of traffic. Speed limit being 100, but doesn't look like we're going to get there today. The traffic is middle of the day, it's 12:30. A little bit of rain on the roads, looks like slowed traffic right down. We're now currently 75 in 6th, which is a little bit tall, so we'll head down to 5th. Now doing 100 and in 6th gear. Slightly on the throttle, so I'm doing 100, 102. Around about 5% accelerator input, down to sort of 2 to 3% accelerator input just to keep the car ticking over. Back to 5th, we're down to 80k an hour with the flow of traffic. I'll go down to 4th, doing 85 now, 80. Bit of accelerator input in 4th. Gonna get off the freeway here. Still in 4th gear. A little bit engine braking down to 60, down to 3rd. Into neutral for idle speed. Have changed. And now we're on Canning Highway. This road has a maximum speed limit of 60 kilometers per hour. As you can see, traffic is fairly moderate to heavy. Stuff, I guess, your daily drive may consist of. I'm just going to hop down along the river. A few speed humps along here, so it'll be a bit of braking and accelerating up to speed. 50 kilometers per hour along here, which is sort of set speed limit in built up areas off a major road. Gear into 4th. So sitting on 50 in 4th gear, not a great deal of exhaust noise coming through the inside of the vehicle. You can maintain a conversation quite easily. My daughter would be quite happy at this noise level, so would the wife. Yeah. So quite comfortable really in the cab now, and really there's not a great deal of difference between stock and this when you're just idling along, purring along. Maybe a tiny bit more reverb, maybe a hint of drone, but not much. But as soon as you downshift or put some accelerator in, it comes alive. Particularly with the engine braking. The other thing to note as well, I have an OBD2 hooked up to my phone through Dash Commander, and one thing I noted stock compared to the R400 is the increase in torque and the increase in peak power. It's significant, more so than what Invidia advertise, and more so than what I would thought would be possible with a Cat Back exhaust system. I'm not a mechanic, so I don't understand how you would get such power gains from just a Cat Back. However, I'm looking at around 25% increase in peak torque and 10% increase in peak power just by changing over the exhaust system, which seems a bit high for me. So maybe someone can comment on how that's possible. But to give you an idea, the peak torque went up from stock figures of, I think it was around 405, give or take a couple of Newton meter, is now 505, again give or take 1 or 2, which I did not expect at all. And you can feel it, you can definitely feel the difference when you're driving this car now. Peak power, on the other hand, went up from around the 221 kilowatt mark up to around the high 240s, low 250s kilowatts. So quite a significant change, which you certainly can feel. The shifting on the car feels different. Just feels easier, less restriction. I don't know whether it's because the car's braking in more, or it's got something to do with the exhaust, if it's just a coincidence. I don't know. Again, I'm not mechanically minded. It's just certainly a lot more than what I thought, and the figures are there before and the figures are there after, so there was definitely a change in that. Today I'm sticking to the speed limit. I'm in my early 40s. I'm too old to be getting speeding tickets these days and can't afford to lose my license. So everything you're hearing here is just normal acceleration up to the speed limit, and driving through suburban streets in a manner that you're not going to lose your license. Not to say that I wasn't going through there a little bit more than 30 kilometers an hour, but not breaking the speed limit. I promise. And same again, just accelerating up to third gear, 65 kilometers an hour is what it touched on. And this is a 60 zone, so as you can see, there's speed cameras everywhere. There's speed cameras at these lights. It's just you can't afford to speed in Perth anymore. There's just way too many cameras about, and you will get caught, and the fines are significant. So unless you got money to throw away, which I don't, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to end this video up shortly. It'll be just me turning into a shopping centre where I'll park undercover, I'll wind the windows down so you can hear what it's like in an undercover car park, exhaust noise wise, and then back to idle before shutdown, and that'll be it for today. And again, I just hope that so I really couldn't find any clips of any real length with the noise levels of the R400 inside in the driver's seat that were lengthy enough for me to be able to determine would I go the R400 or would I go the Q300. So hopefully somebody might be in a similar position to me, and they're just chasing a little bit more footage, or trying to make that final decision as to which way to go, to change from stock or not, or the Q300 or the R400 or the N1. I think the N1 definitely would have been too loud if this is what the R400 sounds like for me anyhow. Certainly don't regret the R400. I'm getting more and more used to it every time I go out, driving the car a little bit differently. And there was only, I think, $100 difference between the Q300 and the R400 installed where I got it done at Maxim Motorsport. So that also came down to my decision making process, and thought, oh well, another $100, I'll go the R400. Okay, so I'll just wind the windows down so you can hear the exhaust as I try and find a parking spot in this undercover car park. While I'm waiting for this guy to get out of his car, I think I'll end it up for today. So I hope this has helped somebody. Thanks for watching.